morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. It is Wednesday, halfway through Wednesday. Oh, yeah, it's great. I love Wednesdays because you just feel like it's just out there ready to, just the weekend comes so fast. But a lot of great things going on in the world today. And, I think it's funny. Everybody has lost the art of really guffaw laughing. I mean, I go to so many these comedy movies, and I don't know whether people have just gotten so jaded. They're just so, they've seen too many movies, and they're just not going to laugh like they used to. I can tell almost how many people don't get out very often and see movies, and I understand why. It's because of the money. So they're going to enjoy everything about whatever trailer is shown. They start laughing, and in the movie it may be over the top laughing, but a lot of times you feel like, shouldn't this be funnier? Shouldn't people really be enjoying this? And they just, I don't know whether it's the mood of the country, or that we're so cynical, so jaded, but sometimes you just want to laugh, and you just need to laugh. And recently, just from this weekend, this woman, they call her the Chewbacca Mom, and she went and bought a birthday present for herself. And what it was a Chewbacca mask that I'm sure you've seen them. Your kids want them, and it's the lower part of your jaw can actually work the lower part of this mask. And so when you talk, it's like moving just like with your words that you're talking, but that you can also maneuver it to sound like Chewbacca, just like his, I can't do that, but that sound that you just know there is Chewbacca. And so this lady bought it, and she gets in her car and she opens it up and puts it on, and she has a camera on her because she will send out messages to all her friends and family and tell them what's going on. She's really funny. And this was her reaction, and the reaction to this was so wild. 640,000 within, I don't know, like a day hits on this, that people have shared this, and I think I know why. So we're going to let you listen to this. And she's just talking to the camera and telling them what this is. It's not for the kids. She wanted to make sure everybody knew it wasn't for the kids, and that she's not making the Chewbacca sound. It's this mask. And she's so like a little kid about it. And listen to her reaction and see if you understand why this is so popular.
You see, it kind of has Star Wars. Oh, you're getting a little hint. Okay, so you want to see what I got? It's so great. I can't wait to show you. Okay, this is part of my birthday joy. Still rejoicing in my birthday. And so here's what I got. I'm going to take it out of the box. And I can't wait to show you. Okay, I'm in a parking lot and people are literally looking at me like crazy. I don't even care. Okay, so here it is. Hold on. It may be a little tight. It may be tight on me. I got to undo it just a little bit. Hold on. Stay patient, people. Stay patient. This is going to be worth it. I promise. Maybe not, but it's worth it to me, and I had to share with my friends on the internet webs. So here's what I'm having trouble getting it. Okay, patient. All right, we're doing good. Okay, so this is what I got. Once again, this is for me, not for Duncan, not for Cadence. I'll let them play with it. I'm not a bad mom. I'm not a jerk, but in all honesty, at the end of the day, it doesn't go in their toy box. It goes in my room. So here we go. I gotta take off my glasses for it. Oh, naturally. Okay, here we go. So, yes! Now watch when my mouth actually moves. That's not me making that noise, it's the mask! Here, listen.
Is that not infectious? Okay, stop it. You can...
Oh, I'm such a happy Chewbacca.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so what do you think? What do you think the reason that everybody wants to see this, hear this, listen to it over and over again? That many hits that she's gotten. It's the laugh. It is the laugh and her reaction to something that's just a little toy for kids, but it just cracks her up, and she goes down to the depth of her soul and brings out that laugh. It's wonderful. And if you go to YouTube and you put Chewbacca Mom, I didn't even know if I knew how to spell Chewbacca, but it is Chew, Chewbacca, Chewbacca Mom, or it's say Chewbacca Mask. Anyway, it's all over the place. Once you pull that up, you'll see so many other people responding to it, reacting to it and all. But it is the laugh. I'm telling you, I know this works, and it's the laugh. And everybody should listen to this, at least on their way to work. Because as we played it, I looked over at Richard, and Richard had this big smile on his face. It cracked a smile on Richard's face. So you know this has got to be good. It's funny when you're around people. Now, it can be aggravating. When people start a story with you and they go, "Hey, Cindy, you won't believe what happened to me." This is so funny. You're standing there kind of embarrassed because I don't know what happened to you, but so I don't know what's funny. You got to hurry up and tell me the story. But they get so tickled with the story, and you do find yourself finally start laughing. And then when they tell the story live, it's, oh, really? But it reminds me of that. She's laughing so hard, but it is just, so if you want to YouTube and watch her do this, it's just hysterical. So she then goes on to it's gone crazy. She went on Good Morning America. She went on all these shows, and then she gets to do like one of the trendiest shows right now is Late Night on CBS, and James Corden. James Corden does this show where it's they're doing karaoke in the car, and he started doing this as a YouTube thing. And it got so popular. And then he gets his own show, CBS. And he has all these stars jump in the car, and he takes them, like he's taking them to work or going for a ride with them. And he's had everybody on there. He's had Adele. And he's had all the Gwen Stefani was on there. And Justin Bieber. So many people have been on this in the car with him. And it's just been a riot. Well, he shows up. And he starts the video showing his audience the video, who he has riding in the car. And he said, I asked this lady if she'd take me to work. And it starts on her face with this Chewbacca mask on it. And then it pulls out, and there she is, and she's driving, and he's sitting in the other seat. And all of a sudden, JJ Abrams, the one who directed the last Star Wars, he's there, he's in the seat, he appears in the seat. And she just goes crazy because she loves Star Wars, and to get to meet JJ Abrams, it was just amazing. So anyway, that's what we're going to see. Let's wait till we come back, so we don't have to break in the middle of this tape. So we'll be back. We're going to go to a break, then we'll come back, and then I want you to listen to her with James Corden and JJ Abrams, and her talking about her Chewbacca mask. It's amazing. All right, we'll be right back. Don't go away. There's so much more to say.
The Cindy Cochran Show, the first daily talk show serving Montgomery County.
Lone Star Internet Radio is now bringing you the weekly business hour show each Monday morning at 11 a.m. My name is Rick Schissler, and I will be your host. Each week we will be bringing you local, area, and national business news that you can use. The program will also feature an interview with a local or national business person who will share their own experiences, successes, and failures in operating their businesses. Our show is for anyone who already owns a business, whether they work solo or have employees, and for those who are thinking about starting their own businesses. A bit of information about myself. Again, my name is Rick Schissler, and I am a Silver Fox advisor who has over 40 years' experience as a serial entrepreneur. As a part of our show, I will offer some advice and encouragement on our monthly topic, and I will take your questions by email at rschissler@silverfox.org or call into the station at 936-647-3776. See you on the radio Monday at 11 a.m. for the weekly business hour.
The Cindy Cochran Show. You ain't heard nothing yet.
And we're back on the Cindy Cochran Show. Thank you so much for listening. We had a good belly laugh, thanks to Chewbacca Mom, and the video that's just gone everywhere. And if you've watched any of the news, even not even like world news or anything like that, this is just news that is fun, like e-news type stuff. But it's been everywhere. It's been on the Good Morning Houston and Ellen DeGeneres. This lady. Her name is Candace Payne, and she, if you missed the first part, go back and make sure you listen to our iPod. And it's so funny. This lady bought a Chewbacca mask, and if you've ever seen the Chewbacca mask, you put it on, and the bottom, is flexible because your chin will move it up and down like you're talking, and then it has the noise of Chewbacca in it. So you can make that noise, and it's just very realistic, and people think you're doing it, but you're not. It's the mask doing it. And so I am sure, I just wish I had bought stock. I wish somebody had given me an inside trade on this thing and told me what they were going to be doing, and you just feel like you would know this thing's going to take off. So anyway, she got like 640,000 of these hits collectively within a weekend, and it's the highest hits on Facebook that they've ever had, the history of Facebook. Of course, Facebook's not, like 50 years old or anything like that, but it is the highest hits they've had to this point. And so anyway, James Corden also saw this, and he does the karaoke drive around with stars, and it's become a huge, popular, trendy hit for CBS. And so it's just been so exciting. Well, he saw it, and he got her on there. And what happens is usually he's riding around, and then the camera opens up, and it's some big star, like Justin Bieber, someone in there. In fact, when he had Gwen Stefani there, he said, listen, I got to stop and pick up 2 more people I got to take to work. And it was George Clooney and Julia Roberts. So they got in, and of course they had a movie coming out, so they got in, talked about the movie, and then sang along. So usually they sing the stars' hits. Well, this video started out with just her face, and the crowd in his studio audience for the show just went wild. They went wild, and so he knew he had picked the right person for this. So this is what happened inside the car, and the beginning of this, and all of a sudden you'll hear a gasp from her because JJ Abrams, the director of Star Wars, last one, jumps in the car. And it is just, and I've never seen the host of this show laugh as much and enjoyed someone coming on the show as much as he did her. So this is how it sounds. This is how it sounds. You can go to YouTube and see this, but let's take a listen.
Right, I know that you're pleased with your purchase, but I have got places to go. Like, I have got to get to work. Is there any way we can leave now and hurry this up?
It's not me making that noise. It's the mask. I'm such a happy Chewbacca.
Right, no, I know that you're a happy Chewbacca. It just feels like... You know that doesn't sound anything like Chewbacca, right? I mean, it doesn't sound like Chewbacca.
I got to disagree. I think it's an excellent Chewbacca.
You know what? Thank you, JJ Abrams. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Sure. JJ, what are you doing here? I've been here the whole time. Can I give you one director's note?
Yeah,
Do you mind?
yeah, no.
It's less like this. And it's more like this.
Okay.
Come on, James, you're missing out.
Oh my goodness, you've got to do it.
All right, fine.
Come on.
All right, how's that? Is that good? Is that everything?
You just can't help but laugh, and we need more things to laugh at and to feel good about. That certainly takes you away from any of the presidential election stuff, right? It's great, and it's James Corden. I said Cordell. I meant Corden. So if you want to look up James Corden, Corden, Carpool Karaoke is what took him to his rise to fame. But he enjoyed this guest so much. This lady who just I mean, it was an amazing thing. So I had to bring that to you because I've been listening to so many people play this, and they just, these very, very serious and talk down to you, the people on the news desk and all of those guys that you feel like are just never crack a smile are just, guffawing along with her and with everybody else that's in the car. So if you want to look for that, please do. Now, we are going to make that jump. We're going to make that jump to some politics stuff because yesterday, I was talking to you about, I wanted to talk about this judge who really does bring home the whole, our slogan, don't mess with Texas. And if you Google that for don't mess with Texas and see how many celebrities and how many different commercials came out of that slogan, it is, they're bad, some really bad ones. And then there's some that are just like very cool, and you couldn't believe how many celebrities were inside of that. Matthew McConaughey, of course, has got the voice, has got the background, the credentials to do a commercial like that. But the Don't Mess with Texas is very important. And I want to, maybe next week, gather up a lot of these different commercials and listen to the sounds of these different celebrities talking about Don't Mess with Texas. But right now, I want to talk about this Texas judge, a federal Texas judge, who became so angry when he found out that the Department of Justice had lied to him, bald-faced lied to him, and he caught him. And they had to admit that they had done something wrong, but they didn't feel like this, what he said about them was fair. Now listen, here's the deal. President Obama had made this far reach with his executive action of he was going to allow 100,000 refugees coming into our country. And so the state of Texas went to sue them. And when they went to court, the lawyers for the DOJ said, hey, don't worry about this. Don't worry about this right now. Because we have not yet put in process or anything like that yet how to vet these guys. So we're going to do that. So please, just back off. Everything's going to be fine. That was a total lie. They had already gone and done, they'd already done paperwork to get these 100,000 people in, just to get them in, not to vet them or anything like that. This is just to get them in. They had already gone through the processes that they did outside of getting this permission from a judge. And especially from us, because we were saying we were going to take them to court to sue them, and so they lied. So he hauls them back into court and just lets them have it. He has had it with all of them. And it kind of took everybody back, because this guy, when he makes a statement, you don't mess with federal judges. You just don't mess with them. And on Fox News, they have a thing called Outnumbered, and they brought in a judge to kind of explain what happened and how serious this was. This is not anything lightly. Because he called them liars, and this is what they did, and admitted to it. And now he wants to have them pay for this. But anyway, this was the exchange that happened on Fox News. So I want you to listen to this. This may explain it a little better than I could. Here it comes. Don't go away. And
welcome back to Outnumbered. Big problems for President Obama's controversial immigration policy. Federal Judge Andrew Hannon of Texas scolding a Justice Department attorney on Thursday, threatening the DOJ with sanctions at a hearing on the president's executive actions. The judge suggesting the administration ignored his request to halt a key part of the program, shielding thousands of young illegal immigrants from deportation who were brought to the U.S. as children. The DOJ said it would not go forward with this part of the program, but in fact, Federal officials had already given more than 100,000 people a 3-year reprieve before the ruling and had given them work permits as well. 26 states, led by Texas, had previously filed a lawsuit challenging the administration's policy as unconstitutional. And then in February, Judge Hannon sided with them, issuing a preliminary injunction blocking the president's actions. Meantime, the administration has asked an appeals court to lift Judge Hannon's injunction while this case is appealed. So we want to discuss this. Judge, we're going to go with you to start off this conversation. What happens next? Do we go to a federal court? What happens?
Well, I think that, the appeals court is being asked to lift the injunction, so that's separate and apart. The federal judge is rightfully ticked off that the misrepresentations were clearly made. Whether they were intentional, they were unintentional, they might have been inadvertent, that remains to be seen. And if it turns out that they are intentional and that there are more misrepresentations that really haven't been revealed, this is not a judge you want to mess with. Federal judges, I would rather anger God than a federal judge, because God is forgiving. Federal judges are not forgiving, and they have a lot of power. State judges have a certain amount of power, but federal judges, when they lock you up, nobody lets you out. So whether he'll impose sanctions or not, I don't know, because he did ask them who pays the sanctions, the taxpayer, right? So if he imposes sanctions against the Obama administration for misrepresentations made in court, if they're monetary sanctions, basically we're paying for it. And I don't know if
Andrew, the administration promised one thing. The judge says he got something different, that 108,000 illegal immigrants were allowed to stay for 3 more years because they were raised here and they were brought here when they were young. Now, the judge said, quote, "Like an idiot, I believe them," talking about the DOJ. So do you think that the administration was trying to mislead this judge?
Quite possibly.
Okay,
and this is the
so
same week that we heard
that should scare
agent
everybody.
testify on Capitol
That should,
Hill that he's not
really
even allowed to
let
do
you
his
understand
job, so he could lose
how
his job if he
brazen and arrogant this administration is, to feel like they can do this under the radar. No, they're going to get caught. Why do they keep doing things that you go like, what are you thinking? And it keeps happening over and over again. So I'm feeling like, that was a pretty good explanation of what happened, what's going on, and that this judge that they had on was talking about how you do not anger a federal judge. You don't do that kind of thing, and especially where it makes him look stupid. And he said, and like an idiot, I believed them when they told me that this process had not gone forward. And so now there they are, and again revealed for the lying scum they can become if they're allowed. If we don't hold them accountable, I don't know what else. He is trying to, and this needs to be said over and over again. And what is so sad is because of this election and because of how the media allows Donald Trump to suck the air, the oxygen out of every other news story that happens. I mean, I feel like probably a lot of what Obama wants to get accomplished during his last days, his waning days, that he can do it because nobody's watching. They're all being distracted. But we're going to be vigilant in watching this. And poor Hillary, poor Hillary, she is now, of course, with Bernie Sanders at every turn. There he is, and she's just trying to ignore him totally so that she can just put her sights on Donald Trump and try to get this guy totally discredited before they go to the general election cycle and start really going at each other. And what she has found was back in the day when he was buying and selling stuff, that he made a statement that he would just if the housing market goes, the balloon bursts, that he wants to be there to buy up a lot of the property and can make a killing buying up all those houses that were foreclosed on. He can get them cheap. So, oh dear. Well, Hillary and her gang and Elizabeth Warren jumped on that and started saying, do you realize who this guy is? He is just a snake in the grass, and he wants to take poor people and take advantage of them and buy these houses cheap. And I just go on and on. And of course, they found a tape where Hillary Clinton has just revealed herself in about the housing thing, and she blames the homeowners for signing on to something they couldn't afford. So this was their fault. Now, that's going to be exploited, and we're going to have to listen to that. And they keep going back further and further. I don't know, a lot of the news stations and production houses are having to transfer 3/4-inch tape over to something that we can understand or be able to recognize when we see it. But this has gone on, and we're going to talk more about it when we get back. Don't go away. We're going to a break. You're listening to The Cindy Cochran Show. Don't go away. There's so much more to say.
The Cindy Cochran Show. Real reality radio.
Tune in on June 7th at 1 p.m. for Veterans Air, the Veterans Hour here on your Lone Star Community Radio. Veterans Air, news, talk, and commentary for veterans, their dependents, and our military members. This month, we'll highlight the Military Veterans Peer Network with Ashley Taylor, who will tell us everything we need to know to be a veteran in Montgomery County. And introducing our new co-host, Dangerous Dan, the Muffin Man. Veterans Air. Think of us as a land nav course without a compass.
The Cindy Cochran Show. The first daily talk show serving Montgomery County.
And we're back on the Cindy Cochran Show. I always try and remember to tell you that go to my Facebook, the Cindy Cochran Show, and put your request in, or your suggestion, or your statement about things I'm talking about, or things that you want to talk about, and bring that up. So Dennis, this guy called Dennis has said this. Can't imagine who this could be. He said, I turned you off yesterday railing about Hillary. You were out of control. But how about the person who votes for Donald Trump? I don't know how that person can even, wait a minute. Where did you go? Where did you go? Don't go away. Okay. Anyway, what he's saying is, I don't know how somebody in their right mind could vote for Trump either, and he just wished there could be a realistic choice for somebody to lead our nation. But here's the deal. What's difficult is because we've left this up to the people. If we left it up to the leaders and how they got to be leaders, where we were supposed to have voted them into that position, but these leaders that we keep allowing to stay there and stay there and stay there and make a career out of this thing, and we allow it because we're making the vote. But if the people say, you know what, we made a mistake. We have evolved now to where you can listen to the media, you can read the media, it's not usually the newspaper anymore, but they go and they listen to Facebook and listen to a lot of other people talking about things, that we've become more unified in our decision-making process. Maybe it's not perfect or anything like that, but if the will of the people are led to one way, and if it's Donald Trump, because they're so sick and tired of the norm, they want somebody to go in there and shake it up, and that's what they're looking for, and he's that guy, because they can overlook and look through a lot of the other things. They're being more pragmatic about it instead of it being an emotional stuff. So they say it's Donald. Now, Donald Trump went up against 16 other people. 16 other people who had been in the system for a long time and all that. And so people just got sick and tired of hearing the same old rhetoric again and again. And then they have Clinton on the other side, who people can't even remember far enough back to all the luggage that she's dragging around with her. And I think Trump's trying to remind them of all that. But anyway, that is something that people may have to be reminded of. And I think, Dennis, that you have every right, and that's what's so great about it. And you could be out, trying to get people to vote for whoever. But if you don't see anybody on the horizon, or anyone that has enough money to bring themselves up, and that's why people like Bernie Sanders, because they feel like it is the people that are giving him the money and funding him and all that. And Donald Trump, through the primary and all, has also used his own money and didn't even need the donations of the people. He used his own money to get to this point, so he's not beholden to anybody. Of course, he doesn't have that political savvy, of course. But the political savvy part is what's turning people off. So if this is the will of the people, if we're going to go back to the founding fathers, and what they wanted was, they didn't want to have a king and a queen telling us who's going to be the next king or queen. They wanted the will of the people. And so they come over here and they start this country, and this is what they wanted. It is not always going to be what everybody wants, right? You can't please everybody all the time. So if they could have someone like Donald Trump, who may be naive and ignorant to a lot of the political savvy ways and all, but some of the processes will be, he can learn those processes. He can be taught that, and he can bring people in to surround him that can help him with certain things. But his intentions and the things that the people have just jumped up and said, yes, that's what we want our leader to think about, it may need to be listened to instead of so discarded as the GOP has done. And nobody's more embarrassed about the way they acted than I am. I just can't believe you could just, hello, we've done exactly what you said to do. And a lot of the things that we were doing in the primaries, we go like, wait a minute, so our vote didn't matter? I stood in that long line because, wait, you're going to make that decision anyway without me? That can't happen. And if Donald Trump's done anything else but, raise the question of our process that may be outdated, arcane, and this is why we need to change it up. But there's another small, little bit in the Constitution where it's legal for the states to come together. They can actually come together. And if the majority of these states, and I think how many they have to have is like 3/4 of the states, come together and say, we want to have the state convention, and we want to deny the executive privilege of the president for something that they're totally against, and give it back to the state and let the state decide. And these states can come together and defy the program that we've all been upset about, Obama going out, and just like with the immigrants. So that can happen, and there are more and more states signing on. Texas is leading this, but there are more and more states signing on, and it would be very interesting. It's just like when this mandate that came down from Obama about the bathroom thing. And now, and by the way, sidebar, is that they have a division now for immigrants coming into our country, that they will take them aside, those who feel like that they're male but they feel like they're female, and they will help them go through the transgender process. Your tax dollars are paying for that. So anyway, if these states understand the power and understand what they can do so that they can override things that come down as a mandate, not a law, because Congress didn't create this law, Obama has mandated, and blackmail them with, if you don't do this, if you don't abide by this mandate, we will rescind our funding to you. So that's called extortion, blackmail, or whatever you want to call it. But anyway, so that's going on all the while, and we do have a say. And the more power that the people start understanding that they do have, and how they can change things, this will be, worth having someone like Donald Trump, not your presidential, icon or anything like that, but that he has, shaken things up during the primary enough to where a lot of things hopefully will change, and that we can get somebody next time around maybe that will help lead this nation. And we still don't know, because we haven't had, Donald Trump hasn't led in any kind of Congress or any of the, or governed a state or anything like that. So you can't look to him for a bad record. It's going to be, we're going to find out. But with people around him, and when he gave out the list of the nominees for the Supreme Court, was very impressive. A lot of people that were very worried about him they were really surprised, because he went to a lot of research and he did a lot of things that helped push him to make people feel like he will go in and do the research and bring the best people around him. And then the list that they came up with, that they helped him come up with, was great, was wonderful. So that part of it, a lot of people need to back off, calm down. It's going to be okay. So I I hope that you didn't turn off all of this. Some of it, I'm just, and I'm reporting what I feel when I see, and of course, maybe you don't understand that. You know what, Dennis? I see what you just answered back, but here's the deal. When he sent that letter to every school, when Obama sent that letter to every school, that was a mandate for them to do that. It was not a law, it was a mandate. And there was blackmail because he said, if you do not comply with what I am saying, you will have federal funds taken away from you. So to me, that's extortion, blackmail, whatever you want to call it. And that's just for the record. Go ahead and look it up and find out for yourself. That's what he did. And that's what he said. And that's what Texas said. We will not be blackmailed. Keep your 30 pieces of silver. That's what Dan Patrick said. So we're not going to comply with it. Okay, guys, I'm going to be right back. This session is ended here, and then we'll start on something brand new when we get back on the Cindy Cochran Show. Don't go away.
The Cindy Cochran Show. You ain't heard nothing yet.
Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's community radio station, and we're looking for more talk shows and volunteer DJs for our music shows. If you're interested in having your own talk show on Lone Star, or always wanted to live out your dream of being a music DJ, contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com/contact us, or call the station at 936-647-5747 for more information.
And we're back on the Cindy Cochran Show, and it's Wednesday, and it's not raining right now. We're so happy. It's kind of like a sauna here. We're starting to get into the beginning of summer, because the summers here are so amazing. I just love it when companies bring people in and to hire someone from out of town, and they bring in people that are from north, and they bring them in April. And April's so gorgeous here. April's like, being kind of an LA-ish kind of thing, because it's cool and just the sun is out and it's beautiful. Then they take the job because they go, this is great weather. And they come in and they start moving in June. Oops. What have we done? But we've enjoyed every ounce, every nanosecond of the cool weather that we've had up to this point. Hey, listen, I want to say hi to Carly Crimmon. She Facebooked me. She has some nice things to say, Dennis. She wanted to say hi. Hope you guys are doing well. And on your show, I've been listening to you. And she's still listening. So it's really great. I think that when you have someone like Carly used to be she was an intern here, and she was going to school at the School for the Blind in Austin, and she was such a treat, such a breath of fresh air. She was so fun to be around, and we learned so much about her world, and she learned from us because she asked questions like, dreaming, she's not seeing anything when she dreams. And she wanted to know what we saw when we were dreaming. It was so, things that you never thought about. We've started seeing these commercials about people who have been blinded by, maybe something that happened to them in the war, or that they were born blind, and they talk about how they get their days and nights mixed up, and being totally blind all the time, and what that does to them. And we learned from Carly on that. It was great. It was great fun to have her here. And we always look forward to when she can come in and visit. And she'd been working at a coffee shop. So you think, wait a minute, she's blind and she's working at a coffee shop. Wait, that can't happen. Oh, yes, it can. Because she stands there when they tell her they need 3 of these latte grande, whatever they are. She can put her hand on the coffee cup, and she knows at this point is where this coffee is supposed to end, her putting it in there. And so she fills the cup, and the cup gets warm there. She knows where it is. It's just amazing. She has all these tools that she has learned through school and through people that have helped her, guided her, and they're just amazing. for her. And she taught us how all the high-tech stuff that's coming around for people without sight. And it's just, you just feel so good about the creative, just the people that see things that they know is wrong and they want to help, and they go about it. And when you have a friend that's blind, you have a child that's blind, that you will seek out that research and you will do whatever it takes to raise money for things. And you go above and beyond with these people. But but she just taught us all about her heart and her mind and her strength, and that she perseveres no matter what. So we love Carly. And Carly, I'm glad that you are listening, and thank you for the very sweet note that you gave us. Tomorrow we have Sarah from Cowtown Couture. I hope I say that right. Couture or couture? I think it's couture. Anyway, it's a new way to dress if you want to dress really cool and be a cowboy. I think that a lot of people have gotten away from what the norm that we feel as Texans. But, if you don't have cowboy boots or a hat or something like that, are you really a Texan? But I didn't get my first cowboy boots. I was in 9th grade, and I was going to go downtown for the rodeo. And boy, I didn't understand why people wore boots. I understood why cowboys walked funny, but I didn't understand why they wore boots. And the cowboy hat was so hot, and the boots hurt your feet. And so I was just a miserable Texan that whole weekend. And then I heard people say, what the problem is that you go in and you're trying to buy it for style, but boots are amazing. Boots are so comfortable if you get the right kind and all that. So I did not do that. I never had anyone teach me that. So I think I wore boots that one time, and then I never did it again. Or the cowboy hat one time. So she's got cool looking stuff over there. It's the hint of the cowgirl. It's the hint of that, but it's just so much more, on the edge, a little edgy, and you'd feel proud wearing that around here. So anyway, we're going to talk to her about the change of the look of clothes and running the shop that she has right here, right across the street from us, right in front of the Crichton. And also we have on Friday, we're going to talk, and I don't care, Dennis, I'm going to give you fair warning. Anybody that can't stand the Housewives shows, the Real Housewives, we all laugh at that are Real Housewives, but we love that show. It just makes us laugh. It gives us something to talk about. I don't care if it's real or not. It's just fun to watch it, listen to it, and get into all their lives, what they share with us. So Brianna Donahoe is going to be on Friday, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to get all in the business of the Real Housewives and Below Deck. Below Deck. That's coming on. Bravo's got some fun shows that you probably wouldn't put in your list of this is what I watch, because people will go like, what? You watch The Real Housewives? What's wrong with you? I'm sorry. It's fun. So if you like that and you have friends that like that, tell them, listen, Friday, and we're going to talk about the new movies that are coming out. A lot of good movies coming out this weekend. So anyway, guys, it's going to be so much fun to get those things started and get talking about that. So please be with me tomorrow. And we'll talk about a lot of things. We'll only talk about cowgirl and cowboy outfits. We've got more to talk about. So you guys stay with us, and thank you for listening. Thank you for Facebooking me. Facebooking me has been great. I love it. And it's just me trying to multitask my brain to read what you say and what I want to say. Go out. Have a great day today. We'll be back tomorrow, Thursday, 10 to 11, Monday through Friday, 10 to 11. And, enjoy the day. Make somebody happy. You'll be happier. And we'll be back with the Cindy Cochran Show. I love you, Mom.
Thanks for checking out this production on Lone Star Community Radio, Montgomery County's radio station. For more information on this show and other shows on Lone Star, check us out online at irlonestar.com. If you're interested in sponsoring a program on Lone Star Community Radio and reaching the local audience of Montgomery County on FM, internet, and TV media, please call 936-647-5747 or contact us online at irlonestar.com. This recording is a Lone Star Community Radio production, produced by the show host and Dick Schissler of Lone Star Community Radio. Interested in volunteering as a music DJ or starting your own talk show? Contact Dick Schissler at dick@irlonestar.com or by phone at 936-647-5747.